The sun and the sand have always been a winning combination. But the sand in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Well, let's just say it's taken a while for that relationship to form.
I never thought beach volleyball was an option, and there was nothing like this here when I was growing up.
Taryn Kloth's relationship with volleyball itself has taken many shapes, just like the surface beneath her.
Don't swing that up, just a forward lower pass.
Today, she's helping a younger generation learn to love the game on both the sand and the hardwood, a love she nearly took for granted.
I hated volleyball when I was younger, actually. I definitely thank my mom because she's like, just try it one more time. And she was very persistent that I would just give it another try. And she's like, I promise, volleyball is so much fun, just give it another shot.
Early trepidation turned into dedication. It didn't matter if Kloth was playing for O'Gorman High School in the fall or a club team during the winter. Her passion for the game never wavered.
I was just playing volleyball year-round and I loved every second of it. I was just always going to the gym. I wanted to be there before and after and just practice. It was so great. I showed up on Creighton's campus and I met the coach and I knew I had to be there. And it wasn't anything that she said. It wasn't like something specific. I just, in my gut, I was like, I have to go here.
From Sioux Falls to Omaha, from All-State at O'Gorman to All-Conference at Creighton, Taryn's game kept accelerating. And she didn't want to slow down, even after a standout career with the Blue Jays.
I was really debating if I wanted to go play professional indoor volleyball or if I wanted to go continue my education. So those were kind of the two choices that I had going on in my head. It wasn't necessarily like a corporate career going on. I could not get LSU out of my head. It was the same feeling that I had when I went and visited Creighton. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I don't even have to decide. Like, it's my gut is just telling me where to go. So that's how I picked LSU too. I just had to be there.
Louisiana State University was the place to be. There was just one golf-sized problem. Taryn had traded in the hard court for coarse sand.
I showed up to LSU and I told my coaches there, I was like, you have to know I have never played beach volleyball a day in my life. They're like, we trust that we can, transition you, help you transition. And I was like, all right, sweet, because I don't know what I'm doing out here.
I was able to give her pointers here and there, and I want her to be the best, so I'm just constantly trying to give her more information, just help her grow and learn.
Kristen Nuss provided some initial guidance, which eventually developed into a long-standing partnership.
She's a very well-known beach volleyball player, and I had just started, and so I was asking her if she would possibly play with me, and I was like, please. And she was like, yes. And I was like, oh, she said yes. Oh my gosh.
It's so fun just to honestly just watch her grow game after game. Seriously, like after every single tournament, she has learned like 5 new things, and it's just so cool to kind of be a part of and see that and just kind of help her just like grow her game.
Taryn and Kristen went undefeated as a tandem in their final season at LSU in 2021. And when it was time for both of them to figure out what was next, well, there was no need to volley.
I just kind of like came to the realization like, this is so much fun. You get to go travel around and play on beaches or in the Alps or wherever, and you just get to go compete. And it was just such an eye-opening experience. And I think after that, I like started Googling what are the next steps of becoming a professional beach volleyball player.
Who wouldn't want to go play on the court with their sister or their best friend and just go get to travel the world with each other? Like, it's awesome.
We are on the AVP tour. So that's just a domestic tour, so you go to all the beaches around the United States. And then we are also in the FIVB, which is the Beach Volleyball World Tour.
In 2022, as the newly formed TKN Tandem Beach Volleyball team, Taryn and Kristen won 3 AVP tournament titles. All of their success has allowed the duo to come full circle and bring their knowledge of the game back to Taryn's hometown.
there have been other complexes and other clubs that have contacted me, and I have asked Kristen, I'm like, this is my home. These are my people. This is my homeland. Like, I want other people from South Dakota to think that they can play this sport and know that they can play the sport.
It's awesome to just kind of see the groundwork. I feel like this is definitely the foundation of where beach volleyball is going to be in South Dakota. I feel like it's just going to keep growing.
Growth has taken many shapes and forms over the course of Taryn Kloth's volleyball life. Each opportunity has presented a new challenge, and true to her 6'4" frame, she's risen to the occasion. It's a bond with the game that can't be broken, even if that admiration started with a little tough love.
I'm sure glad her mom pushed her out the car that day, because, man, she's a pretty good partner.
Yeah, I'm glad that she forced me to go at least try.
2023 turned out to be an incredible season for TKN. Kloth and Nuss podiumed a total of 7 times, which was the most for a U.S. women's team since April Ross and Carrie Walsh-Jennings did it in 2016. TKN is currently the number 2 ranked team in Olympic qualification and the top American tandem heading into the Paris Games. But the reality of competing on the world's biggest stage is just now setting in.
I don't think it's honestly set in for me. It's been such a huge goal and everything that we've been working for the last 3 or 4 years. So it certainly has not hit me yet.
It really is just like, oh my gosh, we're going to be doing it. But now it's just starting to kind of normalize that, like doing a lot of just kind of vision work of like putting ourselves in the games to kind of mentally start preparing. But it was just kind of, it is like, oh my gosh, yeah, is it actually happening?
Of course, when you think Paris, the Eiffel Tower is one of the first things that comes to mind. And as it turns out, that landmark will be a big part of the beach volleyball scene at this year's games.
It is so iconic. Everybody knows the Eiffel Tower. As soon as we see a picture of where the court is going to be, everybody gets goosebumps. I mean, you're wearing USA on your jersey and you get to compete for your country. It's like the entire thing is just absolutely unreal.
Yeah, I definitely think beach volleyball lucked out and got the best venue.
Now, we can't ignore the fact that there is some very obvious irony involved with Kloth's success in this sport, let alone her Olympic hopes. But the uniqueness of her story is something she's embracing to the fullest.
I love South Dakota. I will hype it up anytime that I can. And there are so many people when I'm traveling around the world or even the country, and they're like, wow, you're the first person from South Dakota that I've ever met. And I'm like, it really is. It's a great place. I love Sioux Falls. But it really does. It means a lot. And a lot of my family is still there. So anytime that I can go back or give back and go run a clinic in Sioux Falls, I'm going to want to do that. But I do think it's hilarious that I am a beach volleyball player from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it is one of the coldest states, I swear, in the country.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.